Hi, I am Dr. Eurydice Moore. It's been a while since I have done a broadcast. I'm going to start doing them more frequently. I just came to make an announcement to extend an invitation. I won't be before you long. And that invitation is to attend a workshop entitled The 14 Different Ways to Use the 501c3, which will be February 26th. That's on a Sunday from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. This workshop is for those that have nonprofit that has the 501c3 status. And all a lot of people just know is that the 501c3 can be used to become eligible to apply for grants and to provide a tax write-off where you can issue contribution letters. But it's so much more. And I've been doing this work commissioned by God. I've been doing this work since December 2004. So 18 years I have been out here helping people to form churches, social service agencies, schools, you name it, multicultural centers, multimedia centers. I've just been out here just trying to help people do what God has called them to do. So, what what have I discovered in these 18 years? I have discovered there are a lot of tax exemptions associated with the 501c3 that people don't know about. Now, there could be more, but I have discovered 14 of them, which I will be sharing at this workshop. All flyers been posted. People have been signing up for this workshop, and we have limited seating for this workshop. It's online. It's virtual. Did you know that if you are a nonprofit and if you do not have that 501c3 status, did you know that any monies that come into the organization, any funding, whether it's private contribution, grants, bequests, federal grants, sponsorship, donation, did you know that those funds can be taxed if it's over $600? Is it mandatory to have the 501c3? No, it's not. But it's kind of like a catch 22 situation that if your nonprofit acquire over $600, then there are federal and state taxes that have to be paid on that money. That's why many people go and get the 501c3. IRS, the last time I checked, they state over 10 billion applications are submitted, but only up in the 100, maybe 500,000 are 501c3 are issued. You have to know the language. You got to know the nonprofit language to get it through. So, in this workshop, as I said before, is I have discovered. Now there may be more. I'm constantly discovering. There are 14 different ways to use the 501c3. Like I said, it might be more. I'm inviting you to attend this workshop so you can know how you can use the 501c3 besides being eligible to apply for grants, which is the major reason why people seek the 501c3 status. And besides being able to issue contribution letters to those that give donation to nonprofit so that they can have the tax write off. So, what is some? I give you a couple of examples, but There's so much more, and you need to attend this workshop. Did you know that if you have the 501c3, the income of the nonprofit is exempt from paying federal taxes and state taxes? Okay? You're exempt from paying federal taxes and state taxes. Also, did you know that with that 501c3, the nonprofit owns properties that you can apply for property tax exemption? We're going to talk about that in the workshop. You can apply for property tax exemption if you have the 501c3 and the nonprofit own the property in the name of the nonprofit, not your name, not grandma's name, not Uncle Billy Bob's name, but the name of the nonprofit. So, did you also know that with that 501c3, your nonprofit owns property that it could possibly be exempt from paying water bill? A lot of people don't know that. That's an exemption. As I said before, I found 14 different ways that you could use the 501c3. There are at least 14 different exemptions and waivers, that benefit nonprofit. You're eligible for sales tax exemption, where when your nonprofit, a representative go and purchase things on the behalf of the nonprofit, you just pay for the item. There are no sales tax because you've been exempt, because you was eligible to apply for the exemption with the 501c3. Now, the 501c3 is not the document that you take. I have had people to go to the stores and wave to Costco and Sam and Staple and wave their 501c3 saying that they shouldn't have to pay sales tax exemption. No, you are eligible to apply to the state, and the state issue you a number, whatever state your organization in. In Illinois, it starts with an E, and then there's several numbers behind that E. Then you take that document, not the 501c3, into the stores and show that you have been exempt from paying sales tax. So, and this is something you do through the state. There's a particular department, and I cover that department. You give them a copy of your 501c3 and other documents. Then they issue you this letter with a special number, and you take that letter, not the 501c3, to the stores, and then you're eligible to not to have to pay taxes on the item. Example, let's say your nonprofit needs to buy a vehicle. Well, you go to the dealership and you won't have to pay sales tax. You just pay for the vehicle. Let's say you have a housing project, transitional or shelter, and you need bedding, then you need beds, okay? But you show that document, you just pay for those items, and you don't have to pay the sales tax. I talk about this in the workshop. People, you're missing out on exemptions. Please attend this workshop. Once again, it's scheduled February the 26th from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. It's a Sunday after you get in from church, from your worship service, and then you have a nice little dinner. And then you have to go to Eventbrite. The information is on the flyer that I've been posting and will continue to post so that you can get into this workshop and find out how to use the 501c3. And it's 14 different ways. And you want to save your organization money. But in order to learn how to save your organization money, you need to come to this workshop so that your organization can save money. The 14 different ways to use the 501c3. Because many times you're very happy you got it incorporated, you got your bylaws, okay, and then you got the EIN number, and you sign off, and now you have the 501c3. You get this document in the mail. You open up the letter from the Internal Revenue Service, and you see congratulations, blah, 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 and then you feel like that's it. I'll just run over here and get a grant. Yes, the 501c3 makes you eligible to apply for grants. Yes, but it's so much more. So much more. So I want you to come to the workshop so you can know what you're missing out on. So thank you for tuning in, giving me your attention for these few minutes. There will be more broadcasting coming your way. God bless. Take care. Once again, I'm inviting you to attend the 14 different ways to use the 501c3 that I have discovered over the past 18 years of being in business. I'm Dr. Eurydice Moore. I'm a 501c3 specialist and a grant writer. So I want to thank you for listening. God bless, Godspeed.